Quit hogging the little glasses.
I told you to get your own pair, dude.
Why?
I told you
rotate.
months ago.
We could rotate.
I want to look at the fucking thing the whole time.
The whole time?
Yeah, it's the opera, dude.
Dan, don't sit. You don't have to sit right next to us. Like, leave a space. Leave a space.
Do I have to whisper the whole time?
It hasn't started yet.
Be quiet.
Yeah,
Shh. Be quiet.
You'll fucking know, all right?
You think they can tell it's a clip-on?
Yes.
Fuck.
Everyone else is in tuxes, and you have a T-shirt with a
You
clip-on
keep
tie.
taking it off, too. Like,
It's hurting. It's hurting.
then take it off.
How does it hurt? It's a clip-on.
It's
It's not around your neck,
It's
dude.
rubbing, dude.
God damn it.
I told you to wear the fucking tuxedo T-shirt like I'm wearing.
Can we just be classy?
The guy
comfortable
said
as fuck.
this was Italian silk.
Can we do a classy fucking thing for once in our lives?
Keep it down.
You shut the fuck up.
If you're not gonna give me little glasses, I'm gonna just sleep.
This is cats, right?
We're 3 rows back. You don't even need the little glasses.
Are they going to be singing?
I don't think these women wear underwear, dude.
Are they going to be singing in
I
another
want to test this
language?
theory.
That's why I brought us here, dude. The chicks are super easy at these things. Yeah. They get horned up from the opera.
Yeah, dude. The age difference between all these, it's like 25 years between all these dudes and ladies, though.
That's the lowest.
I know, but I don't think any of them are going to be into us.
Oh,
They will.
It's a lot of birds.
There are a lot of birds in this building.
You think they left a window open?
Probably.
I don't know what it's
pigeons?
for.
Maybe it's better for the acoustics.
Hey, can I
Have
smoke in
birds?
here?
Yes, you can smoke in here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking Italy, dude. You smoke anywhere.
Ciao. Ciao.
He's a natural.
Mm-hmm.
Ciao. I kind of like it here.
Yeah, it's great. We needed this vacation.
Kron, let me see those glasses.
All right.
I want to see if they work backwards.
Just go buy some, dude.
Yeah, why don't you buy
I don't
some?
want to lose my fucking seat.
Can you grab me some milk duds while you're out there?
I don't think it's like the movie theater, dude. It's
All right.
wine and
Fine, I guess I'll have to go into my reserve milk duds.
cannolis.
Let me out. Let me out. I'll go get some milk duds.
Credit card check. Oh, he's sweating.
Yeah, dude.
Smell that.
Yeah, they stink, dude. I could smell them from here.
Yeah. They don't sell binoculars up there. I was lying.
No, of course not. I brought mine. I got them months ago.
You gonna let me borrow 'em?
No, dude, these are my fucking opera glasses. They're perfectly sized to my eyes.
Okay, can I at least see him?
One of you's too narrow and one of you's too far apart. It's not gonna work.
Let me see him.
All right, fine. Just take a look.
All right.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah. Ciao. Ciao.
Yeah, ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Grazie. Yahtzee.
Damn it. Dude, I'm a little worried because these birds are looking vengeful.
Hey, this guy said this was genuine Italian silk, so they better not shit on my stuff, all right?
My grandpa took a lot of these guys out in WW2, dude.
Hey,
Oh, shit.
Wait, what side was your grandfather on?
He was
It doesn't
American.
matter. Doesn't matter. No, we needed ice in those,
Wait.
dude. Go
Oh,
back and get ice.
They were bad guys?
Yeah, they were bad guys
Then
over
why
here.
are we here?
Because it's the fucking
Fuck these
opera,
guys.
the fucking young women, dude.
They didn't have milk duds, but I guess I said milk dud, and I guess roughly.
This is milk.
Yeah,
No,
there's a cup of...
They're cappuccinos.
Oh.
All right.
All right?
What is that?
It's like little coffees.
Oh.
I think it relaxes. Here, take yours.
Here, guys, I got a little, Okay, fine. I bought a little extra packet of creamer from a guy in the alleyway outside our hotel.
Oh, I'll take it straight.
You guys want a little taste of this?
Oh, this is fucking gross.
Yeah, there's too much milk in here.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Kron, where'd your glasses go?
Dan fucking chucked them, dude.
Good for you, bro. Here,
Just
here,
like
take,
you knew he would.
Take Kron's cappuccino too. He didn't want it.
All right, I'm just going to get out my reserve pair of opera glasses.
Typical. Fucking typical.
I knew I already knew what would happen. The first pair was a dummy pair.
Yeah, but you could have just let Dan and I borrow those.
Yeah, you were going to chuck them too. Dan chucked them.
He had an extra pair of gloves.
I wouldn't
the
have
whole
chucked
time.
them if you gave them over willingly.
Well, here we are.
Oh, fucking bird.
You think they're going to shit the whole time?
When does this thing start? How long is this thing?
I think they're like 5 hours.
What? What?
I think. I don't know. It's an opera.
Dude, let's go back to the hotel, dude. Fuck.
All right, you guys want to get out of here and go watch a movie?
Yeah,
I want
watch
to get
two
out of here
movies.
before they fucking start. Yeah,
All
I don't
right,
think
well,
this is a
let's-
place they'll let us leave.
Let's just slip out. Here, Bones, hold my opera glasses. God damn it, dude. Those were the good ones. Those were prescription.
That went all the way on the stage.
Fuck.
I got an arm.
We're leaving. We're leaving. Grazie.
Yeah, we're out. We got 5 seats up here.
Arrivederci.
Yep. Sorry we kicked your ass.
Ciao.
All right, guys, let's watch a movie because this week on 5-Day Rentals, it's opera. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5-Day Rentals podcast. This is the video store podcast where each week we take turns picking a flick that meets a fun, non-genre specific category. This round's category is, ooh, it's spooky season, and we're headed to Italy to watch Giallo movies. I am Kron. I will be your host this week, joined, as always, by... Sorry to say this, listener, but these two guys are currently watching you from your vent. It's Bones and Laundry Dan. Say hello.
Dan, you're on my chest.
I can't see. Did you oil up?
Yeah. Get to the vent so much faster.
That oil in here.
Hi, Kron.
Hey, Bones.
Howdy,
Ciao.
listeners.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, ciao.
What? Don't they have another one?
I don't know.
Adieu? Or is that French?
That's French.
Arrivederci?
Cheers. Cheers.
Buongiorno.
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 There we
And
go.
bonjour is French.
And Bon Jovi, it's Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got it.
good. We got them all.
Lifesaver, that guy.
There's a lot of Italians in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
So there you
never,
go.
Never been.
Yeah, me neither.
I've been there.
I've been to Old Jersey.
Well, no Italians.
They got booted out.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Old Jersey?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
They just straight up are just like, yeah, New Jersey.
Dude, I mean, New Jersey must have been bitter to like smite them off the face of the earth. The fact that we don't even know where it was.
Well, yeah, York was, or is, England, right?
I think so.
I think he
And
kind of owned it.
Was it New Amsterdam at some point before it was New York?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Amsterdam.
Well,
Real-
it was down in
Real
New
original,
Amsterdam.
the people that fucking founded our country, huh?
Yeah.
this yellow hair girl struck up a conversation with me. And I said, Mr. Jones and me, we tell each other fairy tales. And he said, we stare at the beautiful women. And the dancers.
Yeah.
With the black something flamingo. While his father plays guitar.
Bro, are you stroking out right now?
Well, no, Kron, we all want something beautiful. Man, I wish I was beautiful.
All right.
So come dance to silence down through the morning. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Yeah, pass me a bottle, Mr. Jones.
I'm fucking terrified.
Believe in me.
Is this a Bon Jovi song?
And I hope you believe in anything.
Is this Bon Jovi?
That's
hey,
Crows.
It's Crows, dude.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still on Bon Jovi.
Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll hear it, or if I sing it.
Okay, go ahead.
Never mind.
How about like a cowboy?
On a steel horse I ride.
Yeah. Is that Bon Jovi?
Dan, that was a great interpretation. Where did that come from? What prompted the Counting Crows? Are they from Jersey too?
New Amsterdam. The Counting Crows are from Boston, Massachusetts. And if you ever look up the women that dude's dated, you're like, what the fuck?
Are they hot?
Yeah.
I mean, did he date Winona Ryder?
He's did like
That's a pretty good pull.
who
Winona
else?
Ryder?
Like Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think, as
you
well.
See that clip from her in fucking Dracula?
Dude, she's
Dragula?
still fucking hot. But I
Yeah.
think through the 90s, not to say like she went through a bunch of dudes, but I think she dated a lot of guys.
I wish she had went through one more.
Wait for me, Winona. Speaking of music,
Yeah, this movie's chock full of it. A lot of weird opera shit.
I fucking love metal music, but is this the weirdest use of it ever?
I mean, it's like this and oh shit, what's the one he did after? I can never remember the name of it, but he had back-to-back movies that both. It's like every time there's a murder, there's like crazy fucking, I don't know, like Iron Maiden style metal happening.
Yeah. Is it Goblin? Is that the name of the group that would do all that music?
They perform as the movie's playing. You can buy tickets to watch Goblin perform as they usually pick like a horror movie.
Did they do this one though?
I don't think, I
don't
thought I
think
saw
they
it was
did.
like Brian Eno or some
Yeah.
shit and his
So
band or something.
Eno did some of the like background music, but I think the metal is just like, he just had metal that he was like, put that song here. That's definitely not Eno doing that shit.
Well, that could have been his style back in fucking 87, bro.
I don't think so. His style is like ambient music for airports and shit.
Yeah. Dan, did you know you can buy tickets to watch Counting Crows do music over the birds?
Whoa. I would go to that show.
Na 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 na.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Na na na.
That whole phone booth scene is just Long December.
Ka.
All right, guys, we're here to talk about Dario Argento's opera from 1987.
Oh, joy.
First Argento for you two?
Yeah.
No. 5D Army, welcome to Giallo.
Thanks, Dave.
Happy Halloween, Hail Satan. It's here, your favorite time of the year.
I know Dan's watched Suspiria.
Yeah, not a fan. Fucking Discord me all you want.
Did you watch the new one?
I'll throw up middle fingers. No, I started it and was like, I didn't like the fucking first one. What is this guy going to change? I like the director who did the new one, but yeah, I didn't. Argento's a huge blind spot for Giallo's a huge blind spot for me. Said I can't. I got stuff to do, guys. I can't just.
You've at least seen Suspiria, though. This is my first.
If this is your first, are you going back?
Oh, we'll see.
You should. I think he's got some good Giallo stuff. I think this movie, I mean, it's got some negatives. I think it's got some pretty good kills in it.
Yeah.
There's that.
It was pretty fun seeing the knife retract into the prop knife.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end.
Well, they were running out of money, Bones. I mean,
they had a helicopter.
Yeah.
Then I'm pretty sure they reversed the footage on.
They went to the Alps.
Everything's so close up there, though, dude.
Yeah.
Italy. It's like a 30-minute drive from where they were. Loading up all their cameras and props and shit.
Kron, you went to
bunch
Italy,
of little
right?
minis.
I went to Germany, and one day we went to the Alps, and then for honeymoon, we did go to Italy. So I've kind of been twice.
Brewsters.
Hey.
Germany, France, Czechoslovakia. So yeah, I never went to Italy.
I mean, you were right there, dude. You were a 30-minute drive away. Probably a 4-minute bullet train away.
Add 5 minutes to acclimate to driving on the wrong side of the car.
Mm.
Or wait, no, that's just England, right?
I do that here. I mean,
I don't know. We didn't drive in Italy.
Who gives a shit?
The public transport is so good.
and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
What side of the boat do they push? Do they steer on the canals? Does it matter?
I think you got to go back and forth.
Okay.
Unless you just want to go in a circle.
Or you'll go in a circle, yeah. You'll block the canal like the Suez.
Yeah.
You'll fucking slow down the Italian economy.
Yeah, it's already...
How embarrassing.
It's already crawling.
Mm-hmm. They work 3 hours a day already.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to have time to pick up your fresh pasta and fucking
say it.
$3 bottle of wine that tastes better than anything you can get here.
I thought you were going baguette.
No, that's French.
There was a joke you told where you just kept referring to them buying like sausages or something. What episode was that?
Was that London Has Fallen when we were talking about the stereotypes of all the different prime ministers and shit? Who cares? We're here to talk about Dario Argento.
Kron, why'd you pick this movie?
Well, we kind of decided when we did Giallo, you said, I'm doing Fulci. So I said, okay, I'll do an Argento.
All right.
He's the other big name, you know? Come after me, Bava fans.
Hey. That's his boy.
I think if you're talking big Giallo names, like we kind of had to do an Argento in here.
I agree.
And then I watched 3 others. I thought this one had some good stuff. That's how we got here.
Should we discuss what makes a Giallo?
It's kind of nebulous, isn't it?
The Italian term is just it could be a story that features like a mystery or a crime or a murder or something. I think it means yellow. It's based off of kind of like hard case novels that you guys like.
Yeah.
They were based off of that in Italy. Came in like in the, was it in the 60s? The late 60s. Kind of hardcore in the 70s and kind of peaked out in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but American, when you say Giallo, it's more like what we think of with like opera, like a crazy Italian slasher.
I mean, I'd say Giallo, like a lot of the Giallos have a killer with black gloves on. I'd say like that's a staple of the genre.
They definitely have ingredients. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited to point out these ingredients as we continue. Suffer through these 3 weeks.
Are you guys ready?
Your pick is next.
Yeah.
Rate my fucking letterbox.
Kron 3.0.
Kron Howard, you gave Opera from 1987 a 3.5.
We will find out who's correct at the end of this episode. Until then, this is Opera from 1987, directed by Dario Argento. All right, guys, we open at opera practice. Already, this movie is fucking delivering on its title.
Rehearsal?
Opera, dude. A lot of this scene, we get like shots through a fucking raven's eye. The star of the show, she's angry as hell. She says, I can't do this with these fucking birds on stage. It's destroying my performance.
Justified.
Yeah.
Not justified in throwing one across the room, but...
So this is some production of Macbeth. It's all fucking new age.
You
and
fucked
arty.
us. You ruined the show. God damn it.
What, because I said Macbeth?
Keep doing it.
I think it's a curse if we put on a production.
Don't
of
say
Macbeth.
cursed and Macbeth. You can't say both of those fucking words.
I think we can say it.
Maybe you have to say it an even amount of times to balance it out.
It's going to be fucked up if this curses us.
Beetlejuice.
We lose 3 listeners, and now we're at -1 listeners for the show. It's going to be a nightmare.
Is it Macbeth? I guess she is Lady Macbeth. Okay, never mind.
It's Macbeth.
Yeah.
Shakespeareans, don't come at us, please, because you will win.
No, you won't. Fucking frail bodies.
They come at you with their fucking quill and their dainty pants on
Fucking
and
beat the
shit.
shit out of you, dude.
Oh, my mom killed my dad and my cousin sucked off my brother. Well,
How do you say that
cool.
in Shakespeare way?
A fairy put me to sleep and I woke up in another man's bed.
Why is
Cool.
John Travolta here?
He knows a lot about
He's
stage, dude.
The embodiment of Shakespeare, dude.
I practiced Shakespeare in high school.
All right, this lady storms off stage.
Sandy.
She
Thou
says,
art Sandy.
I'll be back for the performance tonight. Even the bird wrangler is a prima donna in this thing. He looks at the director and he's like, if this shit ever happens to my birds again, I'm leaving.
I think he's justified, though, too.
Midsummer lovin' happened thou fast.
Fucking S+, Dan.
Thank you. I don't know what that means, but okay. Kron, what the fuck is your problem? Last fucking movie you picked had a goddamn cat meowing through the whole goddamn thing, and now I gotta listen to fucking ravens or crows caw the whole fucking time.
I'm
What's
sorry.
next?
I'm sorry I'm trying to build segues from one category to the other, dude.
We did talk about how much we loved kick-ass birds last week, though.
I like bigger birds than this.
I mean, ravens are... every year we just find out that they're smarter and smarter than we anticipate, right?
They actually hired a raven as my new boss. It's weird.
He never forgets a face, I heard.
No.
I'm going to put one in your basement and you'll see how big a fucking raven is, dude. You think that's a small bird?
You want to outbird me?
No, I don't want to name bird. I don't want to name birds again.
Because fucking spring is coming, dude. And I can buy a shitload of chicks.
It's a lot bigger than like a fucking blue jay, though. I mean,
blue jays deserve to die. They're terrible.
Okay. Well, a raven's bigger than that.
I don't. Yeah, you're probably right, but I'm going to look it up just in case.
Plus, a raven's not coming alone, dude.
Mm-mm.
Is a raven.
Raven rolls deep.
The scary part is it's like when you see a raven, there are 3 ravens watching you.
Mm-hmm. It's where the Velociraptor got it.
Yeah.
Learn.
Where? What?
Holy shit, dude. Are ravens just Velociraptors?
I mean, they came from dinosaurs, right?
God, so. Damn. What is Dan checking?
He's checking to see if a blue jay is smaller than a raven.
I forgot. Yes, ravens are larger than blue rays, says AI overview.
He pulled out a big book that says
wingspan
bird sizes.
Wingspan for raven, 45.3 to 59 inches.
Dude, that's
a blue jay is
huge.
13 to 17 inches.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Raven's bigger than I guess most people think.
Weight of a raven, 24.7 pounds to 70.5. Oh, ounces. Sorry. 2.5.
Yo, dude, I benched 2 ravens yesterday.
For the pussy ass blue jays. Sorry to all our Toronto fans out there.
All right, this opera lady, she storms off. She starts to exit the building, instantly gets hit by a car.
It's kind of like a nudge, dude. It ain't like a hit. You had an opportunity here.
An opportunity?
An opportunity.
What was that hand? Was that you give up?
You were in the middle of the sentence and you...
Bones got me.
You
said opportunity and that's it. There's nothing else I can pull from that. I wanted to see a lady fly in the air. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, we all want to see that from every movie.
This whole thing is kind of difficult to follow because it's from the perspective of the lead star. You never see her face. You just hear her complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what starts this continuous reverse POV tracking that they do throughout the movie.
Yeah. I like it, though. There's a lot of like long takes in the film that I think are impressive.
I was going to ask you, Bones, do you like the camera work?
There is an unsettledness that you get with that reverse tracking, but I do think it's a little much at times because you always feel like you're fleeing something, and it fits for this that she's leaving, but then later you get like a reverse POV shot of like some spiral stairs, and I don't know. It confuses the motion. There are some incredible shots in this.
Mm-hmm.
There is a peephole sequence.
Yeah.
That is awesome, I think. I'll call it out as we get to it. What I don't want to blow over is this guy who is the worst dubbed performance in the movie, who's like the opera
big
owner.
Fat guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voice does not match. Our star gets hit by a car, barely. I agree with Dan. And when he runs in and is like, ladies and gentlemen, like everything's a fucking production for this guy.
He runs an opera
Our star
house.
has been hit. You know?
Yeah. If you own an opera, you're kind of... You're in it, right? Like you're in the lifestyle.
Has anyone ever been to an opera?
No.
Zero interest.
Jesus
not Christ.
Either. Well, I got to spend 5 hours down there watching people sing in Italian?
That I don't
dude.
that I don't understand.
Yeah, I never had a desire.
You go to a nudie bar for a fifth of the price and
Leave just
Drink a
as
fifth
confused.
in a parking lot.
All right, what are these people going to do, guys? Star just got creamed by a car. The big premiere of the opera. It's tonight.
Well, call in Rena Ripple.
We cut over.
She doesn't have the training, dude.
We cut over to this
I think she
younger.
can pull it off.
I think so too.
I'm going to remake opera.
I would have loved to
Opera
see
2.
her in Macbeth, and you only give her 12 hours to prepare.
I want her to do every Shakespeare play.
All right, we cut to this younger actress. Her name is Betty. She's at home. She gets this mysterious call. This, like modulated voice is like, "You'll make your premiere tonight."
Are you happy?
Who is this? What
Yeah,
is this?
She's confused as hell. Suddenly, this lady arrives at Betty's house, and she's like, "We gotta get you ready. The show is in an hour."
Arrives. She just walks the fuck right in. Like,
Yeah,
they ain't got no locks in Italy.
you give your manager the key.
She's the understudy.
She's
No,
the
let's
understudy.
see,
So why
was
isn't
my
she at
question.
rehearsal?
Yeah. Why the fuck isn't she there?
I think they probably rehearsed for a long time. Yeah, I bet if you're the understudy, they don't make you go to like every single rehearsal.
No, Kron, when you're the 13th juror, you still got to sit for the fucking
All right, well,
courtroom shit.
it's not a fucking, it's not a murder one case, Dan.
If you're
Sitting at
telling
home
me that this
listening
is
to
just
Macbeth?
to set up the logistics of her apartment, to introduce her apartment, I kind of get that. But she should be off stage, right? She should be in her area, like green room, whatever the fuck, dressing room.
Her
I don't
agent
know.
should
Probably
have
got
showed up and been like, "You're fired because you were supposed to be at the fucking
Yeah.
opera house."
Not sleeping until apparently like 5 in the evening.
Well, they do everything late over there. Opera doesn't start till like 11:30.
Probably.
Jeez. No wonder I don't want to go.
As these two are discussing everything, we kind of pan over and we see a figure watching from the air vents in Betty's apartment.
Yeah.
Spooky stuff.
Betty.
All right, all these
Made
other
me want to
people,
fucking watch Kung Pao the entire time I was watching this.
all these other people start showing up at Betty's place. Betty's like, "I can't play Lady Macbeth. I'm way too young for this." Everyone's trying to calm her down. Betty asks what happened to the other actress. They're like, "She got hit by a fucking car."
She got tapped by a Fiat, okay?
All right, well, based on how this opera owner comes in, I could see a opera singer making a big deal about that.
You're in Italy. You could have had a Ferrari run over this chick.
Betty says, "It's Macbeth. The play is cursed. It brings bad luck."
Karen, did you look into any of that?
If Macbeth is cursed?
Yeah.
Nah, but I believed it from this movie. I didn't doubt it for a minute, Dan.
All right.
Did you look into it?
No.
Okay.
I'm tired of doing the work for you.
What do you mean? You do the further research. That's your whole thing.
Yeah, that's changing in season 3.
I'm not doing it.
You don't decide.
I do. I'm
No.
not doing it.
You don't.
Here's
I'm
what I'll
sorry.
do. I'll say, upon further research, I didn't look into anything for this movie.
It might not be either of you. Might be a whole new person.
What, like a baby?
No, I'm gonna do AI. That's the first movie for season 3.
AI.
No, Kron's gonna do upon further research for season 3. Yes.
We cut over to the
Something
opera.
for the listener to look forward to.
It's Betty's big debut. I do the least amount of work on this show, and that's not changing.
We're lucky to get the effort he does put in.
I don't even watch some of these movies, dude. I just log them on the letterbox, stumble my way through them. Barely watch this one. It's Betty's big debut. There's a lot of chaos happening backstage. We start getting some POV shots of a guy sneaking through the theater. Now, this guy, he's pretty low to the stairs. He might only be 2-3 feet tall. Should have been a little guy killer, huh? Because then at the end, you would have been like, that's why all the shots were so low.
Mm-hmm. It was that fucking little girl neighbor, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This thing goes off the fucking tracks at one point. Even Laundry Dan was like, what? Huh?
You mean the flashbacks where they don't tell you it's a flashback?
There's one where she went somewhere and then she was in her apartment and I was like, did I fucking miss like a 2 or 3 minutes or something?
I mean, I get it, but...
I don't know. She was back at the opera and then she was like in her apartment. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, we did pick Giallo, though. Like, none of these plots are airtight. The dubbing is funny. Like, we kind of signed up for this.
But also, one could argue, maybe Dan and I are asking, hey, Kron, could you attempt to explain this a little bit more for us? Seeing as...
He just did.
Okay.
I mean, I'll try when we get there. I guess, Dan, as I'm going through the plot, if you say, hey, how'd she get back there? I'll try to fill in the gaps. But to say I was confused at some point in the future of this movie...
I wouldn't be wrong.
All right, so this little guy, he's sneaking around the theater. Betty starts performing.
When you fucking see that Betty has a gun,
Mm-hmm.
I lost my shit, and I kind of wanted to watch this interpretation of the show.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
There's also like a bunch of World War I soldiers running around at one point.
I'm an idiot. I don't know what this particular show is about, but I don't know if it's a wartime thing and this is just like an updated version of it. But
Dan, hit me with some of that Macbeth research.
So what happens with Shakespeare is that they just decide to, Romeo and plus Juliet it. Let's make it in modern times and this, that. I don't fucking know. This is some dude being artistic with the Shakespearean play of Macbeth.
All right, this killer, he gets up to the box seats. Betty is performing. There are fucking ravens everywhere. She is holding a gun. We see this guy. He's got some black gloves on. He sits behind some little opera glasses. Oh, he's got actual binoculars. He sets those down. As he watches Betty, he says out loud, "You finally returned." All right, now we get what I'm 85% sure is a flashback, because everything goes all blue. We see this lady who's tied up. And the killer, he chases another lady in a blue dress up some stairs. We cut back to the opera. An attendant approaches our killer in the box, and he's like, I mean, this guy is dressed like a fucking 18th century monarch. He's got like a fucking frilly blouse on and shit. Is that how opera attendants dress?
Yes.
It's very official, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
This really looks like a abandoned opera house that they just put seats in.
I think the
All
opera
that
house
stage, all that stage stuff is probably just junk on the stage. Like, yeah, we'll just call it modernized.
All right, this guy walks up and he's like, "Hey, you can't be up here." But these two guys, they start fighting. They end up knocking a stage light down on the ground, and our killer, he just starts bashing this attendant's head into a coat hook
I thought it
repeatedly.
was a spider.
Nice.
You thought what was a spider?
I thought that coat hook was a spider.
What?
God. He's making an arachnophobia joke.
Okay.
Because
You don't
Jeff
get it?
Daniels wakes up and he thinks there's a spider on the wall. It's really a coat.
Yeah, I get it now. How could you remember so far ago?
That's the first thing I thought of when I seen this death.
Yeah.
All right, everybody starts freaking the hell out, but the show must go on. One of these frilly bloused attendants runs over and picks up this fucking live wire that's on the ground. He's like, "Don't worry about it. The opera can continue." Orchestra strikes up again. Betty starts singing the rest of her song. Guys, the audience goes fucking ape shit. They love it.
She's famous now. Just like that. One fucking performance.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was that great.
That's how the opera works, dude.
It's the fucking Beatles on Ed Sullivan, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The shit's televised, right? Don't we see the little girl at home, like,
Yeah.
all stoked?
And then we see the old star.
Yeah. I was hoping she would shoot the TV.
Backstage, everyone starts telling Betty how good she did. She goes back to her dressing room to change. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. It's a man with a rose. Betty's like, "Oh, you're a fan of mine? The first."
Famous.
Betty signs an autograph for this guy. He says, "You can make it out to Alan." Another guy walks up. He says, "Everything's ready for you, Inspector." Betty's a little bummed out. "Oh, you're a policeman. You're not a fan."
Loser.
Alan says, "Can I be both?" He leaves. Pretty suspicious giving this guy a name in the movie, huh?
His name's Alan?
Yeah, his name's Alan. Another guy approaches. He's like the stage director. You recognize this guy, Dan?
Is he in Demons?
No, he's in a movie we covered pretty recently.
What? No, I did not recognize this man.
He's the son in Surviving the Game.
Oh shit, that's Junior?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. I think we talked about that.
we did.
Look at that.
He is a English-speaking actor who had his lines dubbed by another voice actor. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but there you go.
Can I kiss you?
His name in the movie is Stefano, and it seems like him and Betty are kind of an item.
Dad!
She asks if he's going to take her to the after party. He says, of course.
And then the hotel lobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's hoping to see what happens.
Apparently he's got like a rich uncle and shit.
Well,
He's
yeah,
got a
dude.
fucking castle.
If he can take him out to survive the game, I mean.
Was this 87?
Mm-hmm.
What was surviving the game? Fucking 97?
Maybe. Mara, who's the lady that got hit by the car, she sends some perfume over. Betty...
I think it's alcohol.
No, I think it's
they
perfume.
drink it.
No, they don't ever drink it. They smell it, and then they pour it down the drain.
Oh, I think the guy pretends like he's going to drink it.
Yeah, he like holds it up to his face, but then he's like, oh God, this smells disgusting.
What is it? Frog's breath or some shit, she says.
Let's see. So that all kind of happens. They end up pouring this shit down the drain. I think there's also another part where the costumer comes by and she's like, God, it stinks like whatever perfume. She's like, Mara used to bathe in that shit.
Yeah, don't wear it or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Stefano has this, oh shit, we're already past that part. Cut to some more POV flashback here. Killer, he enters a bedroom. There's a lady asleep. He pulls the sheet down. This lady's wearing some great, like, 80s underwear.
Not bad.
I didn't hate it. Another hand hands this guy this weird fucking, like, wide-ass knife. It's like at a point, and then it comes way down to this, like, broad fucking shape. He ties up a woman's hands. We cut back to the POV we're in. The lady in the bed wakes up and starts to scream. Now this part, Dan, I truly don't understand. It seemed like there was a flashback that happened inside the flashback.
Yeah. There's a few of these. I mean, in that first one, I think, is there two ladies that are tied up?
So there's one lady who's tied up in the first one, and then he's chasing a woman up the stairs. In the second one, he pulls the sheet down, and a woman hands him a knife, and then he, like, ties her hands up.
So this could be just our guy likes to tie ladies up. Because it's basically what he does with Lady Macbeth here.
Yeah.
And then you find out that he was doing this to her mom. Her mom was... Because she's in the flashback, right? She's playing the mom later.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess if we want to jump to the end...
Oh, sorry. I've been away for a few minutes. Sorry.
It's sure like... I mean, I think when you get to it, Betty's mom is the lady in the flashbacks who's tied up, but she's also the one who's like directing it. She's like, tie me up and then kill that lady.
So she's getting off on watching him kill another lady.
Yes. And part of her kink is being tied up through the process. I think is what you're made to believe at the end of this film.
Okay.
Wait,
and
what?
And that explains Betty's love of nature?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Cut back to present day. The killer is watching the opera performance on TV. We see he's got his weird wide knife, some rope, some needles on tape. More POV here. The killer is in the theater storage room. He finds Betty's costume. He lays it out and just starts cutting the hell out of it.
Do you have any idea how long it's going to take to mend that? One person with two hands? Jesus Christ.
From what we see in the movie, like 18 minutes, I'd guess. But
he's obsessed with that thing.
The knife?
No, the fucking like thing she's wearing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it ever explains that.
I was covered in medallions and dooley dads.
Gems and jewels.
Very distracting to the eye.
If you were a pack rat, you'd love that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So shiny.
All right, these ravens, they get loose and they start flying around.
So there's a guy who owns the ravens. He's the raven handler.
Mm-hmm.
He just leaves his ravens in a big cage at the. I guess that would make sense, right? Instead of having to bring them there every day. But
yeah, you can't stay with the ravens 24/7, dude.
I don't know. They don't leave like dogs on film sets, though, right?
I don't know. Put
Like,
out a bowl and some water. And shit.
Yeah, but
Birds, man. Feed them once a week.
Okay, all right. So Beethoven wasn't just like stuck in a fucking prop trailer with a bowl of water.
I mean, to be fair,
he was writing music.
To be fair, at the end of the day, you just like tell the dog to hop in the front seat of the truck and drive off, right?
Well, the ravens can just fly and follow your car home.
They'll get distracted. All right. These damn ravens, they start getting loose and flying around.
Doesn't he? I thought he opened the cage.
Does he, or does one of the birds like flip the little latch off?
Yeah, and then he kills one of them, right?
He kills a few.
Okay.
So they start getting
Pesky
close to
fucking
him.
ravens.
He stabs a couple of them up. The ravens get even more angry about this. They start flying at this guy's head. He starts going on a bird rampage.
I think I might have to get some ravens.
All this commotion alerts the like theater night manager who comes to check things out. The killer is able to like make his exit as this guy starts coming down the stairs. Cut over to Betty. She's hooking up with that stage manager guy.
Hell yeah. Junior?
Failing at it seems.
Her mind's just not into it, man. She's got a lot on her mind.
Yeah, she says she's not good at it.
I know.
And when chicks tell you that, they're being 100% honest.
And just lay there.
Dan. Shh.
What?
Okay.
This guy says, let me make you some tea.
I was talking about me. I'll just lay there.
Okay.
I'll just lay there.
Okay.
And respect your decisions.
There you go. That's what I needed from you.
While this guy's out, the Black Glove Killer sneaks in. Guys, he ties Betty up, tapes her mouth, puts those needles on her bottom eyelid. I mean, that's a pretty good visual. Like, no matter what, if you think this movie sucks, the needles on the eyelids is disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I had to finish it, man. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
He tells Betty, the tacked on ending is completely unnecessary.
Dan took a joke from my review.
He tells Betty, I'm going to force you to watch what I'm doing. If you try to close your eyes, they'll get all fucked up.
You fucking know who I am?
Our stage manager guy, he returns and he's like, what? What's going on?
How'd you...
What? What is happening?
A dead crow?
One of you know it. Our killer runs up with that fucking white-ass knife, shoves it right into this guy's neck. Some crazy metal kicks in. Kills this guy good.
Love it. I think does he stab him through the hand? Like,
I think he puts his hand up at one point, and he might, go for another stab and get him.
It's awfully slow, though, when they're on the ground. They're being safe.
Our killer goes over. He feels up Betty a little bit, then takes her restraints off and leaves. Betty's terrified. She leaves the scene of the crime. She finds a payphone and calls the cops. When do you know it? The director of the fucking opera is just coming down the road. So he offers to give Betty a ride.
Mighty convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Is the killer her dad?
I don't think so. I think he was, I mean, if you're in a relationship like that where you're like, tie me up and then kill people, that's not like marriage material, dude.
Some might disagree.
I think also the killer later in the movie is like, she wouldn't let me touch her.
She just laid there. She just hung there.
Yeah. So she calls the police, but won't give any further information.
No.
And then the director,
still a cab, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's going to the newsstand to get the reviews.
Yeah, he's driving around like late at night, picking up all the newspapers to see what they had to say about the performance or the opera in general.
Oh yeah, this is where he talks about jerking off.
Yep. Let's see. All right, so she gets in his car. She starts crying, and the director is like having some love problems. She's like, why do dudes always jump to that?
He sees her, and he's like, look what fame has already done to you. Like, it's one performance, man.
It's the opera, bro.
Yeah, but if you find your star wandering around at like 4 a.m. in the pouring rain.
She was so good that even though some lights fell and stopped the show, and Duke-looking theater security guard was murdered, she's still all people are talking about, dude.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you get the headline over the murdered people,
yeah,
it's pretty good.
Betty kills.
Page 6, man dies at opera.
Yeah.
Circumstances unknown.
We'll investigate two days later.
He must have tripped and fell and rammed his head on this coat hook 10 times.
Wait, okay. So that means the lights fall. Somebody runs over, grabs the lights. Sorry, everybody, it was an accident. Please go. Surely somebody then goes up to that section and finds that dead body, right? And then they say, oh, shit, we need to stop the show.
I think she does mention, like, did you hear the screaming or something? Doesn't she, like, afterwards? She's like, oh, didn't you hear the screaming and stuff up there?
Betty does say that, yeah. But also, you know, if you pick up the light, you find the dead guy, you look at your watch, you say, oh, there's only 30 minutes of opera left.
That's fame, baby.
Plus, trust me, I was doing that quite a bit during this movie. What the fuck? There's an hour 20 left? What the fuck? There's 40 minutes left?
All right, this director says, I don't know. I came to opera from movies. I used to jerk off after I filmed every scene. There's a lot of non-connective tissue.
Well, okay. So when she fails to get lubed up for the stage manager dude, he starts to say, well, I thought all opera singers were like horny and shit, and you like to fuck before a performance because it loosens your throat.
All you sopranos, gabagoo.
Yeah. So then in the car with the director, they get on something and she's like, yeah, apparently we like to all fuck because it loosens our voice. And he's like, yeah, I'm a director. I jerk off before every scene. Like,
she's like, I've already had this conversation. And
yeah, I think he's just matching her energy. I don't know. For the most part, he plays it kind of cool. like he seems to be like focused on other shit. Like once the murder shit becomes obvious, he seems to be into it. But
what if he's filming like an action sequence? It's like a lot of 3-second shots, like a bunch of setups.
You wonder why David Fincher's always so tired at the end of the day.
You think he's cranking like that?
Before every scene? And he does a ton of reshoots.
That might be too much. You guys know I don't say that.
We're old. One time is too much now.
You and me are not the same.
Where do you find the time?
Yeah.
That's why I can't watch these movies, dude. I'm cranking and banging all day. All right, we cut to Betty's house. The director gave her a ride home. She starts telling him what happened, but she adds everything that happened tonight. I used to dream of this when I was little.
Get some help. Fucking psychopath.
I don't think your meditative opera tapes are working.
Stop listening to fucking Macbeth. It's 87. Throw in some Peter Gabriel.
This director guy says he'll take a look.
I guess 87 would probably be Genesis. Don't Discord me. I'll tell you to fuck off.
He starts looking around. He says, all right, there's no one in the apartment, but are you aware of the guy that's watching your apartment from the street below with binoculars? He's like, no, that's fucked up. Let's go take a look. Oh, this guy's already gone. Our director, he offers to stay the night if it'll help Betty out.
Don't worry, I got nothing in me. I shot a lot of scenes today.
Yeah.
No energy. Low energy.
I mean, if you're at the opera like that, I guess it's every time a new actor comes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's doing the stage direction as they're going, right? He's calling for like too much smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's behind a little desk.
This dude's bone dry.
Betty says she'll be okay. This guy takes off. As Betty goes back to her room, we get some more shots of the vents. We see a silhouette move past.
So depending on when this was filmed, it was released in December of 1987. So let's say the summer of 87. So Who's That Girl by Madonna ran the charts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks.
In Italy?
Yes. And then after that, Michael Jackson, Bad. And then Faith for 2 more weeks by George Michael. And then La Bamba to wind out the year.
La Bamba?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By like Frankie Valli?
Well, his band, whatever it was.
Frankie Valli? Was that Richie? Why do I feel like
Richie Valens?
Richie Valens.
But why did that go? I mean, isn't that song from like the 50s?
The movie, I think.
It came out because it's under Los Lobos was the band.
Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. I thought for some reason they were just like, fuck it, we love this shit. Let's push it to number 1 again.
And now you know it was ruling in 87 in Italy. Thank you, 5DR. Fuck yeah. Leave us a 5-star review.
All right, a silhouette moves around in Betty's vents. She gets a call. It's a hang up.
Wait, is this where the neighbor's out in the hallway? Isn't the director in the house for that? Or is that later?
Yeah,
right
I think you're right.
Leaves, yeah. Who is she?
Yeah. Who are you? Why are you out there?
Is that guy waiting for me?
Yeah. Make it about yourself, Betty. Jesus Christ.
She's like, fuck off, bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor has the correct energy. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, she's like, I'm your neighbor. I'm with this guy that I'm making out with.
This dude's like, I'm knocking on this chick's door after I leave
Yeah.
over here.
Betty's like, fuck, I shouldn't have sang that role. This is all my fault. We cut back to the director's place. Him and his girlfriend are reading the reviews. Betty is a big hit, but everybody thinks this guy sucks at what he does. Probably because he's cranking off too much to pay attention.
She say.
And his mistress is like, you want to fuck this chick, don't you? He's like, no. She's like, yeah. She say I took 2 planes to get here.
Yeah.
Canceled a fashion show.
I mean, at least bang this lady already,
Yeah.
you know?
She fucking says something stupider in here. I can't remember.
There's so much stupid dialogue in this fucking movie.
We cut to the next morning. Detective Allen is going over what he found at the scene of the crime. It's a shitload of feathers and a dead stage manager.
Yeah, like 2 days after this shit's happened.
Allen starts questioning the Raven Wrangler. He's like, this guy says, I think Mara might have done it. He says, you know, ravens, they remember. She hated those birds and they never forget.
This dude's fucking these birds, right?
I don't think so.
He's just sitting on their eggs.
Yeah. Well, he has to because they're all at the opera. They sleep there.
Let's just say this motherfucker's got some incubators at his house.
Costume.
What a
managers.
shitty theory. So this lady killed a theater attendant and then the stage manager.
Mm-hmm. And some ravens.
On top of the ravens. Like,
yeah.
Is this the lady that got hit by the car?
yeah, that's what he's saying. The raven handler is saying,
I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, but he's also, he's invested in these ravens, dude. He's
Right.
He's got raven brain.
like the human murders, those are like back burner for
well,
him.
I guess they could be 2 separate incidents, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unconnected crimes.
Traditionally, raven killers don't also murder humans.
Costume manager, she's like, this shit's all fucked up. I'm going to have to try to fix this dress. I've got 2 hours to do it.
God, this bitch.
Betty
God
goes to
damn.
meet with the costume manager. As they're taking a look at it, she's like, whoa, there's a real fucking gold bracelet in here. No way I would ever sew real gold into this piece of shit costume. Let's see. They're trying to make
the back and forth here where she's like, what is it? And the way the lady's like, give me that. Like fucking snatches it from her. And then she's like, I think I've got a magnify. Where is it? Oh my God. Like you don't need the constant dubbing. That's just like, it just fucking bombards you. But the performance on set and then the dub just makes it so cringe. Like I fucking hate it.
Kron, do you remember what Bones gave Aquarius? Stage fright?
No, I can look at the sheet here in a minute.
He is not going to have a good time for spooky season.
He suggested this category.
Yeah.
It was him.
Bones was like, we should do Giallo movies.
It was Giallo ? Like, hey, I was
then
trying to do
me and
something for
Bones-
my buddies.
Me and Dan were like, that's a great suggestion.
I think I was maybe on a 3 or something. I mean, I had fun with
All right.
Demons
Oh.
2 and Stage Fright.
All right, you guys got to keep talking so I can look this up.
Demons 2 is Daria's son. And he did help write both of those, so.
Stage Fright Aquarius. I gave it a 2. Dan, a 2.5. Bones, a 2.5.
Yeah.
What about Demons 2? I think we all gave that a 3.
All right, you guys got to keep talking so I can look this up.
There was a part of me that was like, man, this episode is all over the fucking rails, but it's fitting given this movie. So I'm not making any apologies for it.
Demons 2, 3s across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you like some Argento?
Yeah. I understand the need for the dub. I understand a difference in culture. I understand a difference in dialogue. What I don't understand is just constant, just peppered dialogue to remind. It's like the movie knows you're getting bored and you've zoned out, so they need to re-explain everything, and it is just amplified to the max at the very end of this movie. But this sequence particularly, like but right before she gets killed, the little face that she makes where she's like, ooh, like, fucking kill this lady already. God, fucking kill her.
It does take some time to...
Yeah.
Well, she does a thing too when the killer's after her where she almost like looks back and like taunts him a little.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm getting away from you. All right. So right now they found this gold bracelet. The costume lady is like, there's an inscription on it, but it's all faded. Let's go get the magnifying glass. Suddenly our killer shows up. He grabs Betty, puts her in a display case. I mean, struggle a little bit, Betty. Do something.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the first time she doesn't put up much of a fight, and then later on before the fire, she is she Jillian before every performance? Because she's also just low energy.
Well, you gotta. All right.
Jillian.
Puts her in the display case, ties her up, needles on the eyelids again. This guy attacks the costumer. She throws the bracelet.
Was that the geisha display case? Wasn't there one that was kind of geisha-like?
A little bit. I want to wear robes as trashy as those, though. That's a low-class geisha material, dude. You got to have 100% woven silk.
I can't wait for Kron to send his Halloween costume photos this year.
Kron, you got to watch Shogun, bro.
All right. I think we started it. We just never got back to it.
It earned its Emmys, buddy.
A lot of geisha stuff in there.
It's pre-geisha.
Oh, disappointing.
Well, you get to see the bones of what becomes your love, okay?
Well, that's important.
I know sometimes that gets a little... We don't always need to see where the magic comes from, but it's interesting.
All right, she throws this bracelet. The killer goes after it. She smacks him in the head with an iron.
Dude, when he fucking throws the iron at her back, I fucking laughed. Oh. Like,
yeah, if it was a 6, it probably would have hit some vertebrae. It's probably like a 7 iron.
Do they measure irons for an ironing board in the same methodology?
I do.
I mean, son, they had to have a huge ass iron at some point, right?
I iron with a driver and a putter. Okay.
My wife gets so pissed when I just turn on the stove and I'm just heating up my irons.
Mm-hmm. All right, the costumer pulls this guy's mask off.
A putter and what?
A driver.
And you're never in the sand?
I never hit the sand, dude.
What about your sand wedge? You know,
I don't need it.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't need one
Yeah.
if you're never in the sand.
He's in the sand all the
I hit
time.
I hit the green, baby.
Because he's in the fucking water.
I'm never in the rough. I'm never in the water.
Hit the fairway every time.
Mm-mm.
Wait, the fairway's good. You want to be on the fairway.
No, I don't hit the fairway. I hit the green.
Wow.
We're going to have a 5DR golf tournament.
I'm going to drink 12 beers before we start and black out hole one, dude.
We'll drag your ass behind the golf cart.
I haven't been kicked out of a place in a while.
That's the kind of place I'd never go back to, so fucking do some damage, boys.
Let's do it.
She pulls this guy's mask off and says, "Hey, it's..." And then suddenly this guy reaches up and starts choking her. He starts stabbing this lady up with some scissors. She swallows the bracelet. He doesn't seem to mind though, because once he's got her choked out, he just fucking cuts her chest open, fishes this thing out. He goes over to Betty's case, opens it
My
up.
mom would be so mad if I used her fabric scissors to cut open a body, dude.
You doled these up.
Yeah.
These aren't good anymore.
I did say to myself, I'm like, those scissors look like they'll last. They're still like perfectly good. I was like, those look like they were built to last.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you clocked that, Dan.
It's 87. I'm like,
We used
They
to
don't make
build
shit
things
like
to
they-
last. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not planned
gotta-
obsolescence.
I got a movie on my Plex that's called Scissors. And it
Yeah, I've seen it.
It starts with a lady that goes to a store
Yeah, it does.
that only sells scissors. Seems unbelievable.
They have stores that only sell vapes. Like what? How?
I've bought more vapes than scissors in my life.
I don't even know how scissors get into my house. I don't think I've ever went
Usually
to
through the
store.
window. They find open windows. They cut through the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that video where the dude's all stoned and he's like, I don't know where beans come from. Like how do we get beans? But yeah, I've never bought a pair of fucking scissors in my life.
Well, you have a wife. That's how you have scissors, dude.
Maybe for like the kids' school supplies and shit, but
I bought shears before.
This
For
motherfucker
what?
knows the difference between scissors and shears.
I guess like a lopper. For like cutting little brush. I bought a lopper. Done.
Okay. I bought some like tin snips. I got some metal like tin snips downstairs.
okay, yeah, I guess
Cut
I
metal sheeting.
bought a pair of scissors then.
And it's the 3 because you got like the center cut and then you got the right and left turn. Have you ever had to mess with those?
No.
Okay.
I've never been cutting tin, dude.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
For what? What do I need tin for?
Roof?
Got all these cans in the house. Use that.
What the fuck is happening?
All right,
For-
this guy
Off schedule.
Yeah.
This guy takes Betty out of her case. Let's see. He shows her the bracelet, cuts her restraints. Betty wanders out into the street and eventually runs into Detective Allen. He's like, "Whoa, you're all scratched up and shit." He wants to help Betty, but doesn't really have much to go on. She says, "I'm always tied up, never seen his face."
How can you? Well, I guess he has a mask on. That's right.
Yeah,
Alan
She said she can't close her fucking eyes.
And the costume lady didn't yell, "It's the cop."
Mm-hmm.
She does say it's, and then she gets knocked down.
It's a boy.
Too preoccupied swallowing a bracelet.
Alan promises to figure out what's going on. And
I
guys,
did because it's accidental, right? Like she falls and then it falls into her mouth.
Why
She doesn't
Kind of.
do it on purpose, right?
Why do I feel like she did? Like she runs away from him and then she like waits for a second and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna swallow this."
maybe I
'Cause she's
think
like-
she figures out what the inscription is. And then she's like, I know who the killer is. I'm going to eat this thing.
Just fucking say it.
Maybe I'm wrong. That was what I was gonna say is because I don't think anything in this movie happens without somebody announcing it 4 times beforehand.
She swallowed a bracelet.
Guys, we're going to take a pee break now.
Okay. Okay, so she reveals who it is, or she finds out who it is. The guy starts choking her. She's like, "Ah," like this. We keep cutting back to Betty. Guy puts his things back on. I have no fucking... Yeah. So he stabs her. She throws the thing up in the air, like when her arm goes up, and it falls into her mouth. But before then, before she reveals who it is, before she takes off the mask, she's standing there looking at Betty. She holds her finger up to her mouth, and she's like biting on her fingernail, like, "Oh, what am I gonna do?" And that's where I thought it went in her mouth.
Bitch. She deserved everything she got.
Women, huh? All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5-Day Rentals Podcast. If you're just now joining us, I guess that lady swallowed the bracelet on accident. Bones just explained it to us as he rewatched the movie.
His first watch.
Mm-hmm.
His thumb nailed it.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, you set the
Standard.
movie on like the slowest fast forward. You get it.
Kron, has there ever been a 5DR movie you haven't watched?
No, I've watched every single one of these. There've been some I've not watched twice. But
Bones?
I've watched Mega Ape and all, dude.
I've never not watched a movie for this podcast.
Dan?
I've watched every movie for this podcast. And probably 98% I've watched twice.
Now, does that mean that there haven't been some rewatches for this podcast where about 5 minutes in I regret it and I have a real tough time staying off my phone? That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Is
And
this
the
one of
second
those
watch.
movies? Yeah. Should I
Is
have paid closer attention? Well, you should have made a better movie.
I only did this one once when I took my notes.
That's it?
Yeah, I had to go to a
Okay.
concert last night.
Oh, okay.
Fucking concert Kron. Anyway, fuck concert Kron. It's time for the Hustler Minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Marissa.
You gotta hold the card up.
I'm getting there.
Whoa.
Is that like a teddy that's pulled down and up, or is that the bed sheet?
I think that's your top.
I think it's the bed sheet, dude.
Oh, never mind then.
She is ready to go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Marissa,
All the ladies on these cards are ready to go, dude.
Must be opera singers.
Statistics. She is 34, 24, 35. She is 5'8". This bitch taller than me. She's 118 pounds, and she is born in 1966. Hustler layout, July of 1990. This school teacher from Tampa, Florida, was a second finalist in Hustler's 1990 beaver hunt competition.
Whoa.
Her fantasy is to go back in time and have sex with Nero as Rome burns. For explicit one-on-one with other girls, call 1-800-775-5885. It does work. We getting kickbacks for this shit?
No, and I don't know if this is a chick you could fix, fellas. I think a lady with that particular fantasy, I don't know if you're ever going to appease her desires. So,
I mean, you know, she likes a good toga party.
yeah.
Dude, if that was my teacher, I'd have to crank off before every class.
Nice bush there, too.
You think Zoom has contemplated, like, do we need AI technology to censor out hustler cards?
Probably.
It's just one little problem we have with a show that happens at this time every week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. On the back of the card, since it says for one-on-one with other girls, are these cards for women?
No, that's their way of saying you're not going to get a hold of this particular woman when you call.
Oh, that makes sense.
What episode was it that I called? I don't know if I listened back to that. I don't remember.
I cranked it up in the mix, so hopefully it was.
Never heard anything on Discord from that, so.
They're probably bummed that they're not seeing these cards. People probably just blast through this.
Yeah.
You think none of them know there's a Hustler Minute? Because that should be something like people are like, that's the best part of your show.
Nah, they're probably trying to hide the fact that it's their favorite part of the show.
So it's a pretty good pod. You got to hit blast 15 like a ton of times to get to the hustler part, but then you can just end the episode after that. They don't talk about naked chicks anymore.
There's no ads, but there's like a lot of boring parts.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, ads might actually be interesting.
All right, guys, we cut over to Betty's place. The inspector has sent someone to take a look. She conveniently can't see this guy because she put in slow-acting eye drops that blur her vision for roughly 10 to 30 minutes.
Because of the shit he's been putting over her eyes?
No, I think she's just tired. She's like, I gotta put some eye drops in.
Oh, I would have assumed it was because of the...
What, the tape?
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Well,
It's not in the eye.
She's been like forced to have her eyes held open, so they feel dry.
Okay, I could believe that.
Yeah.
If you have dry eye.
Get the 30-minute eye drop.
Who cares if there's a killer after you?
All right, Betty lays down to relax.
You can't properly run from a serial killer if you have dry eye.
Nope.
Yeah, so blur your vision for a half hour. Good luck out there.
Dilate those motherfuckers so you can't see them.
Betty's manager shows up. She's like, I heard about all the killings. It's pretty terrible.
God, this shit drives me crazy too. So there's a knock on the door, and she gets up, and the detective's like, were you expecting somebody? She's like, yeah, it's my friend. And he says, well, check to make sure first. And she's like, yeah, but I know it's her. It's like, okay. Your fucking ignorance is leading to people's deaths directly.
I guess. I mean, if
Yeah.
I heard you being like, hey, Kron, let me in, I'd be like, oh, that's Bones out there.
Yeah. This dude's taking time out of his day to come like chill and watch over you and shit. Just like respect that. But also, this dude could have gotten up and checked the door as well. So, shame on him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're the cop that they sent over to protect the apartment, maybe you should answer the door.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not sit in like a side room.
Smoking all day.
Maybe cover a point of entry.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the manager is like, I can see why the cops are keeping an eye on you. In fact, the one that Alan sent over here, he's asking me 1,000 questions downstairs.
Just
Betty's
as shitty as the cops in Hollow Man 2.
Betty's all, what? What are you talking about? She says he's in the living room right now. They go and take a look, but all that's left is a smoldering cigarette. Suddenly, all the lights go out. They're caught in a classic, what if the guy in the apartment is the bad guy versus what if the guy downstairs is the bad guy?
What a pickle.
You know, there's still the hallway you could go into, though.
They decide they're just going to post up and hold a butcher knife in the kitchen, buy themselves some time. Someone shows up
I
at
think
the
she
door.
gets the knife out of a cabinet, not a drawer. And that is a psycho fucking move.
Mm-hmm.
That might just be Italy.
You got to hide a few knives around the house, dude. What if, you know?
I don't know. It's just not.
And don't-
I don't think
don't-
Marie Kondo is pro knife in a cabinet.
And don't be like, oh, we never used the bread knife. I can hide that one. Because you're not going to want to use that when the shit hits the fan.
Mm-mm. Well, you could use that to maybe saw a lady in half if you're trying to get a bracelet back.
That's true. All right,
Does
I'm going to hide one bread knife somewhere. Just
Does
in
anybody
case.
use the bread knife at their house?
All the
I
time.
used it today.
all the time.
Rarely.
I had to cut a piece of bread for
How
the
you-
baby
how you-
off a loaf.
Cutting your bagels in half.
That's too many carbs.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, you both failed.
No, I cut a piece for the
I'm
baby.
I'm
I cut
sorry I'm
piece for
having
the
a
baby.
bagel once in a while.
I had no bread today.
What about tomorrow, Kron?
How many beers did you drink?
Today?
One.
Are you asking me or Kron?
I had one beer today
Okay.
and
You
a quart of bourbon. It's different. It's
This is my-
keto.
It's corn
This is my
mash. It ain't
fourth
fucking
beer.
flour, bruh.
Bourbon is keto, dude. All
How
right.
many beers have you had?
Who?
You.
None. I knew I was going to have a tough time paying attention.
That's why the pod's not good tonight.
Exactly. No wonder we're off. We can feel it, dude. You know that, right? We can feel it.
It's me. It's not the subject matter.
You
It's
got
not the fact that I had to leave for 5 minutes because my dog lost shit.
He lost his shit or he had his shit?
What I said, lost shit. He just went
Mhm.
fucking nuts. That's what it was. And also, I don't give a
Be
fuck about.
fucking killer in the house, dude.
Uh-oh.
Because he had to shit.
Joke's on him. I got knives in every cabinet.
That's smart. Someone shows up at the door. This lady, the manager, goes to check it out. She's looking through the peephole. This guy's like, I'm the fucking cop. Let me in there. He says, the maniac is already in the apartment. Let me in. He waves some ID around in front of the peephole. But the manager, she's not convinced. He says, I'm a cop. Just look at my gun, idiot.
Duh.
He holds it up to the peephole.
And he's shining the flashlight right into the peephole, too.
Mm-hmm. This lady's like, let me see your face. She gets her eye right in that fucking hole. And what do you know? The bullet shoots right through there. Incredible special effect. You see both the entry and the exit of this bullet. It looks good.
It's great. It's the best shot of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Betty starts freaking out. This guy's like, let me in there. I'm coming in one way or another. Betty runs to her room, throws some pillows on the street below, but it looks like it's going to be a hell of a drop. The pillows explode when they hit the ground. That's how high up she is.
She packed them too tight, man.
She decides to make a better choice and hides. Killer starts sneaking around the apartment. Betty is hiding with the butcher's knife. She eventually finds that cop in the apartment. He was the legit cop, but he's already been stabbed. She grabs his gun.
They confirm that it is him by showing his ID, and she says his name like 6 fucking times.
Yeah.
Daniel something, right? Salua or something?
Yeah.
It was him. It was Daniela Solo. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name was Daniel Solola.
Yeah. Because you have checked out. You've had that cool shot and then 5 minutes of just nothing.
Yeah. She sees the killer and starts firing wildly at him. This guy's got cat-like reflexes. He starts dodging and rolling these bullets. Can't be touched. He's like Neo, dude.
Who's that?
From the Matrix?
Nope.
I would say box set, but only one of them is worth watching.
According to people, like number 2 is actually pretty good.
Number 2 sucks.
Not really, dude.
They should have just made the 1.
3, I can't even tell you what happens.
Give us more Bound movies already. See what those lesbians are doing.
Did they open up a scissor store?
Yeah. All right. Suddenly, Betty's vent flies open. It's the little girl from next door. She's like,
what?
come on, crawl into the vent with me. Betty enters the vent. These two, they're crawling around. They're trying to avoid the killer. He's chasing behind them in the vent.
What is this circular vent? What is the layout of this apartment building?
I think she says like
this thing.
all the vents are connected in the whole building. I mean, it seems crazy. They duck into an apartment to avoid the killer. Betty like meets the mom here and she's like, hey, don't you remember me? I fucked up your date last night. The mom's like, no, get the fuck out of my apartment.
Well, in the vent, Betty asked the girl, like, what is this? Why? Like, how do you know about this? And she's like, I come here when my parents are fighting. And Betty immediately is like, oh, like when they hit each other? Like, there are other ways. Like, it could just have been verbal arguments, but she jumps immediately to like physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's Italy in 87. I mean,
but then
he's still allowed to knock a little lasagna out of a lady. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but then this woman is out dating other dudes.
Yeah, that's probably what caused all the fighting.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Italy in 87.
that and her being naked all the time.
Yeah, dude, it is Italy. These people they're sucking and fucking all day.
Working
Are
off
you
all those
horned up?
carbs, man.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Stop showing me those cards if you don't want the second half of the podcast to be like this.
You're the one that bought them.
Yeah.
I should have kept them.
Should have kept all of them. All right, Betty makes her way over to the opera. We got more metal through this scene, which makes no sense. It's just her wandering around in the street.
Fuck yeah.
She comes up to the director and he's like, hey, don't worry. I'm making some changes to the fucking opera. We're going to figure out who the killer is. Betty goes over to the dressing room. She starts to sleep. Starts having all these flashbacks. She sees her mom all tied up while a guy kills a lady in a blue dress. What's going on? We cut over to the next night's opera performance. Betty's out there singing. The director, he shoots that raven cage through the fucking wall. The raven wrangler, he kicks the fucking cage open.
He's in the cage. He's standing inside the cage.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the same fucking guy from the beginning.
I think
it's the same guy.
I think it is.
He looks like heavier.
Well,
He put some weight on so they could get that cage to swing correctly.
you fly a guy to Italy from the States and
That's
tell
fair.
him he's got 3 months to
Yeah.
chow down on pasta.
You see him in 3 scenes across a 6-month shoot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. You see this fucking cage land, and then all of a sudden you see like a guy like open the door and come out. You're like, what the fuck? They
All
forget
these-
to cut this out?
All these ravens come flying out of the cage. I think a cool POV shot of the raven as it flies around the entire opera house.
Yeah. It maybe goes on for about 3 minutes too long.
Goes
But,
on a little long, I'll agree. And wouldn't you know it, guys, all these birds, they start attacking Detective Allen.
What?
He screams out at Betty and just starts shooting wildly. The audience clears out. Crazy that they hung around this long. They thought this was all part of the show.
Well, usually some guy comes out and, picks everything up and they go about their day, like,
Maestro, continue.
yeah.
I think one lady even says, like, is this part of this show?
Yeah.
Yes, I was here last night. They do a bunch of weird shit like this.
Have they pecked his eye out before he starts shooting?
I think they like scratch his eye, but then it's like after everyone clears out, there's a shot of a raven eating an eyeball.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, but also it almost feels like they stuck it inside of the raven. Like he tries to swallow it and then he can't, and then it doesn't fall. It's like stuck in his beak.
It's taking too long. Dario's got shit to do, dude. He's got a plot against Anthony Bourdain.
What?
Wasn't Anthony Bourdain involved with Aja Argento, daughter of Dario?
I don't know. I'm not familiar of the
I'm
connection.
pretty sure that's who he was with at the time that he like killed himself.
Oh, shit.
Supposedly. Maybe he's still alive.
He did. He killed himself.
Tupac ain't dead.
All right. Director goes over to
Diddy's
see
about to
Betty.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just needs to kill himself.
Director goes over to Betty and he's like, "Can you believe it was the policeman? But Alan is there. He knocks this guy out and drags Betty away." Alan starts explaining everything to Betty. He's like, "Listen, it was your mom. It was this weird sex thing we were into. She taught me to kill. I was into her. She wouldn't let me touch her." He starts tying Betty to a chair.
She helps him.
She puts up no fight.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you might as well just tie your own fucking ropes and shit. Alan explains, though, you weren't a star like your mom was, so I had to get rid of Mara. He grabs this big container of gasoline and starts throwing it all over the room. But then he's like, "I'm afraid of pain. I don't want to burn to death." And he gives Betty his gun and he starts coaching her, like, aim it a little more left, a little more right. Finally, he's got it lined up. He's like, all right, you go ahead and shoot me. She's like, no. He's like, come on, why won't you fucking shoot me already?
I had to fucking rewind this part.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Betty won't shoot him, so he's like, all right, your mom. I did all these killings for her. He's explaining it all again. He strikes a match. This is when Betty shoots him. Match drops, hits the gasoline. Whole room starts, going up in flames. Betty finds herself in this burning room now. She starts screaming like, I can't get out of here. Somebody's got to help me. Eventually, the director gets her out of there.
Oh, so she's strapped to the chair, blindfolded.
Mm-hmm.
My joke was I thought she was going to shoot the blindfold off because I swear she's like got the gun up to her head and she uses it to shoot one of the ropes, kind of loosens off. She tries the door. She screams 4 or 5 times, I can't get out. Then has to get the key from his body.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so fucking painfully frustrating to watch because this actress is having a tough time getting purchase on that key to pull it out of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Key's hot. She's got to like use her dress, I think, to pick it up. Still not the right fucking key, I don't think, right?
She breaks it off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't-
Yeah, maybe it just turns to molten metal once it hits the lock.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. We cut over to beautiful Sweden, guys. Betty's with the director. They go for a stroll in the countryside.
Oh.
Suddenly, we see a special news report. The police have a development. Alan is alive. He threw a dummy into the fire.
Damn it.
He threw fucking pin into the fire, dude.
Yep.
It took 2 weeks to discover that it wasn't a human body.
Yeah, it was a charred
It was
mannequin.
a charred mannequin.
You can get away with a lot in Italy.
Yeah. It looks like a man. It's clearly
They
him.
only work 3 hours a day. All right. They got a backlog of burned bodies.
Director throws open the window to Betty, who's outside. He's just like, Alan's still alive. He's in the house. Run. Betty takes off running. We see Alan in hot pursuit. The director catches up to Alan, but Alan stabs this guy up real good.
The metal kicking in here is pretty funny against this backdrop.
Yeah, you'd expect like the Sound of Music to be playing.
One of my jokes was, because she's like looking at the mountains, and I'm like, Doe, a deer.
A dead baby deer.
In my case, yes.
Alan catches up to Betty, and she's like, okay, I want you to know I am like my mother. I wanted you to win. I wanted you to kill the director. We have to go away, just you and me. Alan is all confused, but he's like, finally, I got exactly what I wanted.
Finally, I can touch a lady.
He starts walking with Betty. As they're kind of going along, Betty picks up a big rock and smashes this guy in the head. Suddenly, a SWAT team rolls out to arrest Alan. Betty starts screaming, I'm not like my mom.
This fucking cop is like, he wanted to kill you, huh? Did you know we were coming? He really wanted to kill you, huh?
Did you know that?
To remind you, the audience, because you're bored as shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did you know we were coming? Did you see our helicopter and the dogs? Yes.
Alan, for some reason at this point, screams out, I didn't commit any crimes.
He knows they only work 3 days a week. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will tack on at least 6 months to the fucking court proceeding. Cop goes up to Betty and he's like, "Hey, you knew we were out here? What'd you say to stop him from killing you?" She goes, "Nothing. Bunch of nonsense." We get some weird ass VO here as Betty crawls through the Swedish countryside.
Saves a lizard.
She saves a lizard that's stuck.
Fuck the prop guy who had to hold the stick down on this poor lizard.
Well, they kill.
It was free.
They kill one in Deep Red, I think. Like they kill a lizard in the movie.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. So she saves this lizard, and then she says, "I love nature. I love clouds. I love animals and bugs and all that shit." Roll credits. The end. To opera from 1987, directed by Dario Argento. Dan, hit me with that research.
Gentleman Opera 1987. Argento was released December 19th of 1987. It had a budget of $8 million. I don't know the box office. At the cinema that week, you could catch Moonstruck, Broadcast News, the world famous Eddie Murphy's Raw, and Overboard. This movie does share several themes with the classic story of The Phantom of the Opera. Many of the adaptations gloss over the fact that the Phantom is actually a serial killer. And of course, Mr. Argento leans into that here. According to our star Urbano Barbernini, he plays our detective who is our killer. It took several hours to recapture the crows when they were released in the opera house while filming. They started off with 140 crows, which were used, and by the end of the movie, only 60 of them were retrieved. So they escaped during filming. So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
In the book Profondo Argento, Dario Argento cites star Cristina Marceliascia was the most difficult actress he'd ever worked with. Orion, which is the American distributor for this film, wanted Argento to cut the final Swiss countryside scene out entirely, but Argento refused. Many mishaps on the set, including the death of one of the actors, led director Argento to believe that the Macbeth curse actually did follow this film. His father did pass away during the filming of this, and he does say this is like one of the most difficult filming processes he had of like all his movies. And that's all I got for opera from 1987.
Thank you, Dan.
Smart call on Orion's part to try to cut this last Swedish bit.
Yeah, I think whatever you could have done to make it feel like it wasn't a 3-hour movie would have been beneficial.
Rate my box.
Take me up inside.
What is the average user rating on this bad boy?
It's a 3.6.
3.6. Kron, I put you at a 3.0. Dan put you at a 3.5. Dan, what you got for me?
Bones, I think you are a 2.0.
Dan, I think you're a 2.5.
Bones, I'm going 2.5. You at least like this as much as Stage Fright. Dan, I'm giving you a 3.0.
Dan, kick us off, buddy.
Opera from 1987, directed by one of the godfathers, I guess, of Giallo here. Argento. I think the camera work is really good in this movie. I do enjoy the POV. It feels a little long. I will agree with Bones there. During this was the first watch for me. So, yeah, I did pause it a few times and be like, 45 minutes. Like, oh, shit. I mean, it has all the themes of a Giallo, the leather gloves, it's going to introduce you to the killer eventually. So I see why Kron would have chosen this one. There might have been some more famous ones from this director that he could have brought to the podcast, but this is 5 Day Rentals. Acting, I mean, we're dealing with dubs and shit here, so it is what it is. Kind of confusing story a little bit, but we're in that territory. Some pretty gnarly good kills here, I think. I like those. I'm going to 3.0. It's a good time. I mean, you're not going to be... I mean, there could be a little more excitement, I will say that. But I think with the quality of kills you get, I think this is a 3.0. I think it works.
Thanks, Dan. Obviously, I'm pretty limited with Giallo. I know a lot of our pod movie buddies enjoy it. The sense that I get is style over substance. And it seems to be something that people sort of agree on. You either like it or you don't. You come for the style. You come for the black gloves. You come for the whodunit. You usually know pretty quick who it is. You get in and you get out. Okay. I can understand that argument. There are certainly genres that one could argue that I enjoy that are style over substance. But this is my review and reflection on the movie, and it is an absolute bore. It looks awesome, but unfortunately what it is shooting is incomprehensible. And what fun you do have is sandwiched between terrible acting, incomprehensible dialogue and story. There is craft in the visuals, in the movement, but I don't understand what you're showing me. And I get no sense of kinetic storytelling. I kept thinking like, oh, are these POVs like in reverse? Is this like something that just happened? Is it to throw you off because there was this reverse POV with the main star? A lot of stuff just seems like, shit, we probably should go back and shoot some fucking flashbacks and pinch those in. And, we do need to throw in a shot of the little neighbor watching her on TV because otherwise it doesn't make sense that she's in the vents and stuff. The cops are all fucking idiots. Everybody else around is how are you able to put on a production of an opera? I don't believe it. The director is like this punk rock blasé sort of filmmaker, whatever, and then he comes around at the end. I didn't care. Like when you say in the research that she was like the most difficult act. Yeah, fuck her. She sucks, but also at the same time, was she shitty because she knew she was in a piece of shit? Like, is that why she was difficult? But it looks good, So it's like I would definitely take Stage Fright. That's got some fun and charm to it over this, but this does look really good, and I want to set myself like kind of a mid standard for the genre going forward. So I think I'm being pretty fair with a 2.5.
All right, dudes, opera. I mean, listen, is the movie somewhat incomprehensible? Of course. Is there bad dubbing throughout this thing? Absolutely. Are there weird characters that are doing things that don't make sense and no human would ever do? Absolutely. But at the same time, when we said, hey, let's do Giallo, those were all things that I signed up for. I think Bones is 100% correct, and I think we'll see this throughout the rest of these movies. Style over substance. I think that perfectly sums up what most of Giallo is. It's about the feel and the look and the color and all this kind of shit more than it is about the plot and having every thread sewn up. And this movie does look really good. Like, I've not seen a lot of Giallo, but I've definitely seen ones that look a lot worse than this one does. Whoever was working the camera, and even Argento as a director, I mean, I think the guy has some skill. You know, he knows where to put a camera. He knows how to move the camera in an interesting way. I think all that stuff really works. So, yes, does it have the pitfalls of every other Giallo movie? Of course. But it looks way better than probably 95% of the other ones out there. On top of that, to echo what Dan said, I think you do get some really good kills in this. I think the first kill on the stage director, I mean, it's like crazy over the top violent for what you've seen in the movie so far. And we talked about it. That lady getting shot through the people, it's not a long scene, but it looks incredible. The movie overall is too long. The entire Swedish ending should have been cut from this thing. It has some of the biggest plot holes and some of the worst dialogue in the entire film. And it is kind of a bummer to end on that note. All that being said, I think I'm going to be a 3.5 because the movie just looks so fucking good, man. Some of the camera moves are crazy. Like, they're doing long take stuff. They're doing complicated stuff with the movie.
Three point oh.
Yeah, this will end up as a 3.0 from the three of us. Guys, this would currently be at number 87 on the big list. This would be right below Ravenous and right above The Gauntlet.
Dan, you got a 1. Kron, I got a 0.5. If I lose because of fucking Giallo, I'm going to be fucking mad. We went back and forth as to whether or not we were playing on these.
Currently, Dan and Bones would be tied at 11 points each. I have a 9.5.
All right. Well, we've already announced what the next pick is. So no after showers. We go to 1979 next week for Killer Nun. Available on, I think, Tubi, Arrow, Pluto. It's out there. Not a lot of my Letterboxd follows or followers, have logged this bad boy. So I was pretty vocal doing my research of what I was going to pick. This stuck out to me. I watched it. I thought, this is a fucking 5DR movie. So come back next week for Killer Nun, and I kick it over to Dan.
Hey, if you motherfuckers are on social media, you can follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Letterboxd. If you're on Spotify and Apple, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show. It helps us bring this fucking show to more fucking people. But if you really want to fuck with us, there is a new link on every episode that drops every Wednesday.
We got
of
the
5 Day
comment.
Rentals. We heard you. So the new link is on there. Join in and tell Kron that maybe Operate wasn't the best Argento choice. You never know. I mean, he'll comment back. He's there.
Mm-hmm. I will not agree, and I will be very combative when you say that.
We clap back.
Does he get to say this in 2 weeks, though, at your pick?
Yeah, sure. He's taking over upon further research and closing out the show in season 3, so.
I'm not doing any of that.
He's gonna
finally
do some work.
Here's the new closing. Goodbye, everybody.
Right. So join that Discord if you really want to fuck with us. The link is there. But other than that,
You're always naked.
Ciao and burn.
There's no ads, but there's like a lot of boring parts.